It's very impressive, but how he did it, Skip, and I've watched Steph enough. Guys like Steph, you can't let them hit them shots like that early. Because if you let 2 or 3 go in, well, you might as well just okay, let's just try to do what we can, brace for the storm. Let's just batten down the hatches, Skip, because it's coming. You can't let that guy.
No.
Because he's shooting from that kind of distance, and he sees 3 go in a row. Well, it's over.
And he said after the game, I was just going to shoot it tonight.
And that's what it is, Skip. And he is Mr. Warrior. The Warriors have had some great players, and I know a lot of people think, the Warriors were bad for a long time. I mean, they had Run TMC that was, they were good, but they didn't win the title.
I loved watching those teams.
Yeah, Chris Mullin and Tim Hardaway and Mitch Richmond.
Oof.
But Skip, before then, you go back to Wilt Chamberlain. They had Rick Barry. They had Al Attles. They had some really, really good teams.
Yep.
But Steph is it. Wilt Chamberlain. Now, Skip, it's rare that you find a guy that changes the game. But it's even rare that you have 2 guys play for the same organization that changed the game. Now, Wilt changed the game. Wilt was the reason that they widened the lane.
Yeah.
Because Wilt was the reason that they did offensive goaltending. Wilt was the reason because Wilt would jump from the free throw line on free throws to lay the ball in the basket, Skip. They said, no, you can't do that.
Just quickly to your point, Wilt played 5.5 seasons for what became the Golden State Warriors. And he averaged 42 points and 25 rebounds. These are silly stats that I can't even compute.
That's why, Skip, it's really hard to judge him.
Yeah.
The guy averaged 24 rebounds for a career. Let that sink in. For a career, he averaged 24 rebounds a game. He had a game, he had 55 rebounds. So we set Wilt to a side. But Steph, all the guys that I mentioned, they're not as accomplished as Steph. With the titles and the way he transcended, the way he'll transcend the player, Skip. Because now, guess what? Ain't nobody got their tongue out trying to dunk the ball. No. Everybody trying to launch up threes. He made it in vogue. There is not a bad shot now, Skip.
Yep.
It used to be guys shot the three-point shot for the most part. It was the end of the quarter, end of the half, or the end of the shot clock. The shots that they shot back then, and people say they're a bad shot, Steph Curry shooting those shots. And he made it in vogue. So now we see Luka, we see Dame Lillard, we see so many guys. Now, Steph didn't create the three-point shot. The three-point shot came in, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, 1979, and I think Chris Ford played for the Celtics, was the first one to make one.
Yep.
But the way now analytics are rewarding the three. Now, don't take that mid-range. If you don't got a dunk or a layup, pull it out and shoot a three.
Yep.
Guys we ever see, guys have layups and they kick to a three.
Yep.
Because of that guy.
Because of that guy.
So he's right. He's Mr. Warrior. He's an unbelievable, phenomenal player, Skip. And guys like small guards.
Yep.
Magic. We get Magic was a transcendent player. We had never seen a guy 6'9" play the point. That's what he was. 6'9" guy. Mr. Russell was 6'9". He was a center. Most 6'9".
And had his way with Wilt on occasion.
And 6'9" guys, you a power forward, you a center.
Yep.
He was a point guard. You look at little Steph, and that's what everybody says. Oh, man, he too little. He dude like 6'2", 6'3", probably like 170 pounds. What are you going to do? That's what he going to do.
So I so much agree with the one line that you said early. Steph is it. He is it. That's it. That sums it up. Those 3 words. Steph is it. I'm going to state for the record one more time. Back before Steph's draft, I used to fight on ESPN with everybody, including our man Chris Broussard. They all loved Blake Griffin, who had stayed 2 years at the University of Oklahoma. I watched every game he played at Oklahoma, and I just didn't love it.
Right.
He could shoot about a 1-foot shot. Right. That's about all he had. And I kept watching this little Steph Curry, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm taking that man.
Yes.
I'll never forget that NCAA game against Kansas. Went right to the wire. And almost had him. I got into it at ESPN with his coach because I criticized his coach, and I still believe that it was the wrong strategy at the end. I got to figure out how to get the ball in that guy's hand. But the point was, if you redrafted today, I'm pretty sure he'd go first.
Oh, yeah, he'd go first overall, right? Absolutely.
Okay. It is not an overstatement to say he revolutionized the game of basketball with that shot. The greenest of lights, but the greatest of depths that we've ever seen. And Dame is following in those footsteps, but he's the one who blazed the trail.
Yes.
Okay. and it took guts. It obviously took a coach in Steve Kerr who gave him the green light, but Steve just knew.
Right.
Steve was a really good shooter himself, and he said, that guy is the best.
Even Mark Jackson,
Mark
who had
Jackson
it first.
started.
Skip,
yeah.
you remember, because when Mark came out and said, well, this is the greatest back-shooting
the greatest duo.
backcourt shooting duo. Man, y'all crazy. You forgot about Walt Frazier and Earl Pearl.
Right.
You forgot about these guys. He said, I'm telling you, these are the greatest two shooters ever.
Yep.
And
he was right.
But Skip, in order to let him flourish, you can't, because Skip, back in the day, if you shot them shots that he was shooting, they snatch your butt out the game.
Yeah.
But you got to let him go.
You got to let him go. I agree. Okay, and you got to let me go one other place here, because we just talked about the flip side of this discussion, which was Edelman, that we talked about one topic ago, that all he did was in the postseason, and you can't even begin to sell his regular seasons.
Right.
Well, this is the flip side, because I've still been somewhat disappointed with Steph in the postseason. And again, this is where your legacy is made, and I'm hoping he gets more shots at this. They got to get Clay healthy.
They got to get Clay healthy,
and then maybe we'll have another conversation about this. But I will never be able to forget, obviously, because I was on the other side of with the rooting interest, what happened with your man LeBron and those Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016. They're down 3-1. And obviously, Draymond got suspended for Game 5 back at Golden State. But 5, 6, and 7, this man, this 6'3" man, came up even smaller than he is in all 3 of those games. He was abysmal in those 3. Yeah. I've had Golden State insiders say he was banged up. He was having a knee issue. He wasn't quite right. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of pass, but shooters shoot. And he had you guys on the ropes, and it was up to him to close that deal. He's the best player, right? He's Mr. Warrior. And he didn't. In the fourth quarters of those 3 games, they had chances all 3 games. He shot 30% from the floor, which is abysmal, and 25% from 3. And he didn't shoot a single free throw in any of the 3 fourth quarters. That's just wrong. Right. He was an overall minus 12 for what it's worth. But the game was Game 7, as you know. It was a totter,
going
back and forth. And in that game, he ended up shooting 6 of 19 from the floor, 4 of 14 from 3, which is 29%. But the bad part was in the fourth quarter when he went 1 of 6 from the floor and 1 of 5 from 3. And if we could just see some of his misses here, these are some of his misses in the fourth quarter. You just have to make. If you
especially that was the Skip. You don't get any more with break.
Ball. That hit nothing but backboard.
Yeah.
And he's banging himself on the head, and we're seeing his misses. This is Steph Curry. This is you got to make that.
You would never ever expect him to miss that one.
He missed bad wide left. It's like you can't miss these. You can't miss it that bad.
Right.
Your team is teetering. Finally, Kyrie said, okay, give me the damn ball, and I'm going to make one. And he made one shot, and that was it. And I'll give you a chase down block. I thought it was a bicycle built for 2, thanks to J.R. Smith, but that was a big play in the game. But Steph Curry was a non-factor in all 3 fourth quarters. And then we get to the Raptors finals in 2019. And again, they had all kinds of injuries. As you know, finally KD was gone, and then Clay was gone.
Right.
But the 2 key games were Game 4 and 6, both at his house at Oracle. And in Game 4, they're down 2-1, so they could tie the series. He went 9 of 22 from the floor and 2 of 9 from 3. But then Game 6 is a closeout game that they got closed out at home. They could have forced a Game 7 back in Toronto, and it went to the wire. And if we could see the shot that Steph missed with 8 seconds left, they're down 1. So this is to put them up 2. And I thought that was a reasonable look from him, and he missed it.
Yeah, for Steph Curry,
if he makes that, at least we go to a Game 7, and then we're back to anything could happen. And I didn't know exactly what was going to happen injury-wise to the rest of them. But the point is, if you're that dude, if you're that magic man at home, at least at home, you got to defend your home floor by making some of those fourth quarter threes. So I just throw it up to you. As much as he is Mr. Warrior, and I concede that, I love Rick Barry. He's a friend of mine. He was for a long time Mr. Warrior because he was something, man.
Yeah.
Could he score? Woo.
Yeah.
But the point is, this is Mr. Warrior without enough of a postseason legacy because he's played in all those finals, and obviously he has no finals MVP.
But when it's all said, do you think, where would you rank him as point guards all time? I know you got Magic number 1.
Pure point?
Yeah. I know you got Magic number 1.
It's hard for me to even put him in the point guard discussion. He's just a shooter.
Yeah.
And he's the greatest shooter ever. I think he's beyond Clay.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't know how to rank him as a point guard, although the other thing, and there was a good story on ESPN.com yesterday, and it's quoting Jerry West, who said, don't underestimate how great he is at scoring the ball with either hand at the basket. He is really good at it. And he's a reasonable distributor.
Yeah.
He'll get you 6-ish assists a game. Yeah. So I don't know if I rank him as a pure distributor. He's not.
No. He's not one of those. He's not one of those guys. No, he's not a John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson type point guard.
Well, he's not a LeBron James. I can tell you that.
No, he's more of a scorer. And a lot of these guys, Skip, are masquerading as point guard. You look at the De'Aaron Foxes, and you look at all these guys that play Russell Westbrook, that play the Dame Lillard, that play the point guard. They're really two guards.
Okay, I got it. But he's in his 12th year, and this year he's getting the greenest of lights because he doesn't have, obviously, there's no more KD and there's no Clay.
Right.
He's averaging 30.4 points a game, which is his career high. They are 26 and 28, and they are struggling. They had a big win last night. That was impressive.
Yes.
I was highly impressed with that. But still, 26 and 28. Are they going to eke into the backside of the playoffs? I hope so.
They're trying to get to that 10 spot.
Yep.
Get to the 10, 7 through 10. You got play in.
You got a shot. Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to face Steph because I know he can get hot. He can make 12, 13 threes.
Can he?
He make 12, 13 threes, then what? You looking around like, coach, what you want me to do? I mean, I'm picking him up at half court, and he's letting it go from the logo.
Yeah. I just hope he gets more great opportunities in the postseason, and I wish he had.
I know where he can come. He can come down south and get him a great opportunity.
Some discussion about that.
Come on down south.
Yeah. Some people think that LeBron has been recruiting him at the All-Star
We need a few good men. But you know, ain't that a slogan? Who had that slogan?
You need a lot.
Who did that? Ain't that an Army slogan? We need a few good men.
Yeah.
And if we get that guy,
yep.
What does Smokey the Bear say, Skip? Only you can prevent forest fires.
Really?
It's over.
Yeah.
We burn the state up.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.